Dudes to Dads, brought to you by Dad University, is a podcast to help men understand and navigate the transition of being a single dude into a family man. How do we make sense of it all? Well, we probably won't be able to, but let's go ahead and have some fun trying. And we are back.
We are back.
I'm Jason Kreidman.
I'm Alan Buck.
And this is Dudes to Dads, episode 197.
Yeah.
So, Alan, we are approaching the 200th episode.
Yeah.
And I was thinking we really need some feedback from people to tell us what we should do for our 200th episode.
Yeah, we would love to hear it.
What's a good idea? I don't know. Should we do something remotely? Should we have a certain guest on? Should I bring my kids on? Should we switch roles? We talked about all kinds of different stuff.
At the end of the show, we usually go over how to contact us. I'm actually going to say it a little bit now.
Go for it.
I think podcast@dudesadads.com if you want to email us. Hit us up on Twitter @dudesadads or Facebook dudesadads.com and leave us some commentary about what you think should happen. Or even go to your favorite podcatcher that you're listening to us on and just leave a comment. It actually helps perpetuate the show anyway. Right on. So why not give us some feedback there?
So this topic is 7 new dad parenting mistakes to avoid. Mm-hmm. So this is a public service announcement to new dads. Hey, it can affect some of them can be affect a non-new dad.
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
An old dad.
But for the most part, these are things that you're just getting acclimated to having a baby and some of the, it can be difficult. So we all have really good intentions when the baby is born, but realize that you're going to make mistakes. We all make them. Sure. And, there's tactical mistakes like not having enough diapers when you are somewhere, or not buckling the car seat correctly, or not bringing enough change of clothes for the baby when you go somewhere. Like, those are tactical things. The mistakes that I want to review are more about your thought process and your emotions and sort of like your overall well-being.
Right.
The deeper stuff. I'm interested in the deeper stuff.
Sure.
So let's get to it. Number 1, taking the baby's crying personally. Now, your newborn is not trying to ruin your life.
Despite what you may think.
Yeah. It sometimes might feel that way, but they're not trying it. They're either hungry, tired, they've got gas, they need a diaper change. There's not a lot of reasons why they are crying.
Yeah, they're just uncomfortable with something.
Yeah. And it's not your poor parenting skills that are the cause. So don't take it personally. All babies cry. It's how they get attention. And, if that one story of the deaf parents whose baby does not cry.
Right.
It
that's not how they get the attention.
And makes vibrations because that's how it learned that it got attention.
Right.
So babies cry because it works. That's why. Number 2, not paying enough attention to your wife. So get a babysitter or a family member to watch the baby and take your wife out on a date.
Yeah. Or significant other. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
Sorry. No, if you know her love language, let's say she likes gifts, you could get her flowers, or if she likes acts of service, you could do something that she'll appreciate, maybe cleaning, wash her car, do something without her asking you to do it that you normally don't do. If you're the person doing laundry or cleaning it, that's fine, but do something that's different or something that maybe she's typically tasked with.
Right.
So that's just it. Pay more attention to your wife. And that is something that a lot of, I think, new dads make that mistake. Is that they kind of they roll with the the sort of day-to-day stuff, and they really are just both of the parents are just paying a lot of attention to the child.
Yeah, interestingly, I think you have to really pay attention to that because I feel like you get lost. I know even with just work alone, you get lost in just your own world and get caught up in the things that are regular, and then time starts to fly by, and all of a sudden months go by. So you got to almost actively do it.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Number 3, this is a big one: putting too much pressure on yourself. So, we all want to be the perfect parent, great husband, great in business, but it's pretty impossible to excel at everything at the same time.
Right.
the cool thing is that you get to start your day over every day. So, maybe one day you can be a great parent. The other day you can be a great husband. And then the other day you can be a great business person or employee. But don't expect that you're going to be able to do everything really well all the time, every day.
Right.
So I've looked at that sometimes because I can see, like perfect example. Today, I probably wasn't a very good parent because I didn't spend really any time with my kids. I dropped them off at school. So I saw them for a very small short of time, but then I went straight from after work to recording. So it's like, I really didn't spend time with them today.
Sure.
No quality time. I mean, in the morning we're getting ready. It's not like, I didn't get to hang out with them, didn't tuck them in, didn't get to read, nothing. So probably not hitting the high scale of the parent. Business wise, was doing great today. Got some things done. Business was fine. Husband, I maybe sent a couple nice texts. But yeah, same thing. It's like you can't do it all wonderful every day.
Yeah.
And so you've got to just not put so much pressure on yourself to do that, because you're going to, kill yourself
right.
By trying to.
For sure.
Number 4, you underestimate your time. So everything takes longer than you think. If you'll make plans and you will be late. It takes longer to get out of the house, to pack bags, or anything else that involves a child.
Right.
So just realize that. And then what happens is when the child's not there, you still blame the child.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm on vacation. Why am I still late?
Right.
Must be my kids.
Yeah.
So no, just underestimating your time and how long everything takes. So number 5, when you have a newborn, not taking care of yourself. So, this can mean getting sleep, and trading off and making sure you and your significant other are getting sleep, eating well, exercising. If you don't really care too much about those things, maybe the eating well and exercising, because just some people don't, then at least make some time for yourself to have fun. That's something else. And so you hang out with friends, et cetera.
A hobby or whatever you have.
Yeah. Just, do some, it's okay. It's like when you have the newborn, you're so focused on the child. It's like, you do have to still take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And
I see some videos lately, which is kind of cool. The parents will kind of integrate it with the baby and like do push-ups and kind of get in the baby's face on some level. It's cute. And it's like, there are ways to kind of get around and have that incorporated as part of the routine. But also I agree. It's like, maybe you need a little bit of that alone time or decompression time.
Yep.
Just to, take time to do your thing, your hobby, or whatever it is you want to have fun with.
For sure. Number 6, comparing your baby to others. So, don't worry about when your niece rolled over or when your nephew first talked or your best friend's kid first ate solid foods.
Right.
Just don't do it. Every child is different and it has no bearing. Okay, a little bit of bearing, but not a lot of bearing on their future.
Right.
But the fact that your child walked 6 months earlier than the other child doesn't mean they're going to be a better runner.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So stop comparing your baby to others. Your baby to others.
Yeah.
Number 7, not enjoying the moment. So I recall when my son was very little, I said, I can't wait until my son can talk to me. Mm-hmm. When he walks, it's going to be so much fun that we can take a walk together. And so the problem is that I wasn't enjoying the present moment. I was thinking about the future.
Sure.
And so, that time goes by so fast. Everyone says it, but you don't realize it. When you look back, I look back now, my children are 10 and 8. Mm-hmm. I cannot believe it. I was just showing you a picture earlier, of my son. And I was like, I cannot believe how fast it's gone. Like when you're going through some of it, it does not seem fast. It seems really slow.
Right. Yeah.
But for those, people always say it and it's just so true. You're like, you remember those times. And I can't imagine like for somebody who has an older child, it does. It's like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
And so you really do have to enjoy that moment.
Yeah. I didn't realize how frequent, I mean, I see even with, with your child, like, I mean, I remember meeting him when he was very little, wearing a Buzz Lightyear costume, and now he's like, in the double digits, and he's becoming basically a young man at some point. So it's really strange to see that, even just as an outsider.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is totally crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, having a new baby it's a great thing, but it can be stressful if you allow it to be, if you're making some mistakes, that's okay. You just got to, learn from it. A lot of the stress that we have with our newborns comes from, just making sure the child is okay. Like, you want to protect it. You want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to give it the best opportunity. And it's a lot. Like, that's a lot to worry about and to think about and to constantly be doing it. So I just remember sort of to me, the biggest takeaway was not to be so hard on yourself. I mean, that to me is probably the most important one.
Yeah.
There's just, you're going to make mistakes, but if you can learn from them, I'd say the thing that you can do is, if you can provide tons of love and affection to your child, a lot of the other potential problems are going to go away.
Right. Yeah.
That's like the one thing, like, yes, you're going to mess up here and you're going to screw this up or you're going to handle this wrong, but love just conquers all, and you see that. I mean, you see that even with, I witness parents all the time that in my, when they counter the techniques and stuff that I would be talking about.
Yeah.
So they're doing things differently. It's their way of doing it, but ultimately you see how much they love their child or how much affection they give and how involved they are. And the child's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They have good kids. The child's going to be okay.
Right.
The fact that they didn't handle it, this situation, whatever, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're sort of doing best practices, to bring it into a business term. It's like, these are best practices, but they're going to be okay even if you don't do everything in that way. So that's all I've got really, for this one. So,
that was good. We keep it short and sweet and succinct.
So if anybody has any other comments or feedback, Alan, what should they do?
They should email us, podcast@dudesadads.com. Hit us up on Twitter @dudesadads, Facebook, dudesadads.com. Please go to Dad University on YouTube and check out all the videos and leave some comments there if you can, positive, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And then subscribe to those networks. And then also subscribe to the Apple Podcasts and Stitcher and any other place you hear us, and leave some great positive reviews there, or some comments and maybe constructive criticism, and share it with your friends. It really helps perpetuate the show.
And tell us what we should do for our 200th episode.
Yeah, please.
We need some ideas.
Great. I would love to get some ideas from that. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, as always, Alan, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time.